What did Phil Falcone agree to do?
So there was a deadline coming up today at 10 o'clock this morning on a waiver on a debt term violation that LightSquared had engaged in. And he's got a 1-week reprieve on that now. Of course, Phil Falcone's the main backer through his Harbinger hedge fund of LightSquared, and he's agreed to step back as the public face of this company. He'll eventually, we don't know sort of the how and when of this yet, but at some point he'll be off the board, and there'll be a clause. He's agreed in principle to some language that if he wakes up one day and wants to be an officer of the company, no, not going to happen.
Now, it seems to me the big question with this whole company, the LightSquared, is what's their realistic plan now? I mean, they had a giant plan that the FCC said you can't do. That was their big bet.
They had an agreement with Sprint that unraveled because the FCC said that.
What do they do? I mean, I know this is great that they won't default on their debt. They'll have extensions, waivers, all that stuff, stay out of bankruptcy court. But what is this company going to do now?
So the plan is basically to go to Washington and fix the problem.
That's so easy. The problem being the FCC,
the rebuke that you mentioned earlier, which was this saying that the FCC saying that they plan to revoke this conditional waiver on allowing them to operate. They found tests show that their network interfered with GPS signals. It's this whole snafu. Phil Falcone doesn't really think the FCC necessarily knows what it's talking about. Basically, the lenders to this company have said, you're too much of a lightning rod right now. You being in D.C., talking to the regulators about all this, is just, we need you out of the picture. Let's bring in some telecom guys, some people experienced talking to regulators, and have them talk to people in
This
DC.
is a company that had to lay off about half of its staff, right? It doesn't have a CEO at present, LightSquared.
Still searching for a CEO. The CEO just stepped down, right?
Right, so it all hinges on whether they can get the government to reverse its decision, right?
I mean,
once that happens, then they're a viable business?
Yeah, I mean, as some people said to me, this thing is either worth $10 billion or a lot less than that.
Wow. Now, who are some of those investors? We're talking about $10 billion.
Yeah, so you've got Carl Icahn, you've got David Tepper's Appaloosa Management, you have some other hedge funds in there, Knighthead Capital Management, Capri is in there. They're all in this debt that was in danger of defaulting today, that we now have this 1-week extension. And they hold a lot of it, so they have a lot of leverage over the company and over Falcone. And now they're going to try and negotiate a little more over the coming weeks, see if they can negotiate a much longer runway so that this company can try and get back on its feet.
And what kind of hoops do they have to go through to get that 12 to 18-month extension, which I believe is what the article referred to?
Right, so I think what they have to do now is they haven't really talked about financial considerations for the lenders. And the lenders, if this thing is worth $10 billion, they're going to want to be able to participate in that upside. You were in default on your debt. We let you off the hook. We're trying to work with you. So I think that's something you can expect to see pick up in terms of negotiations over the coming week.
All right, we'll leave it there. Mike Spector, thank you very much.